Hey guys, back with another video on review on the Doom reboot for PC, Xbox One, PS4. I don't know why they didn't call it Doom 4, it really is Doom 4. And I originally wasn't going to get this game, but positive impressions and some good reviews that I read before release made me reconsider that. A lot of people were saying like this is one of the best first-person shooters in years, and this really stays faithful to the original Doom games, and it's the type of shooter we just don't see anymore. And so you know what, I gave in. I got it for a reduced price on PC. I don't know if I would pay full price on consoles, but I decided to give the game a chance. And Bethesda has been really bad at marketing this game. They really should have been marketing it as like this really fast-paced run-and-gun shooter, similar to the old Doom games, like a really action-packed first-person shooter, not really a horror like Doom 3. And the videos that they've shown on this game have been really slow-paced, and they don't really give you the sense of what this game is like. And yeah, I don't know, the marketing for this game has been abysmal. And yeah, this game, oh man, I loved this game. I thought it was fantastic. Like, one of my favorite shooters in a long time. I guess we'll start with the story. There's not much of one. A demonic invasion has taken place on Mars, and you, as the Doom guy, have to stop it. There's a few characters you'll meet, and there's a few scenes where you get like a good amount of dialogue. But one of the things I like the actual story is really bad. And the ending is just horrendous. But I like the characterization for the Doom guy because, like, I don't know, through a lot of like these animations that I don't really want to spoil, you get kind of a sense of his character. This kind of character that takes no shit. He doesn't want to be in the situation he's in. It's pretty hilarious. Some of the animations and some of his responses, without dialogue, mind you, to some of the characters in the game. It's pretty hilarious. And right off the bat, the game doesn't bombard you with a bunch of cutscenes. It's just almost immediately you're into the action. You're given your first gun, and you're almost immediately killing demons. And it pretty much stays that way throughout the entire game. This is a really fast-paced shooter, and we'll just get into the gameplay because that's what matters here. That's where this game shines. This kind of shooter, man, it took me a while to readjust because I haven't played a shooter like this in a long time. It made me lament the direction first-person shooters have gone in, because this is my type of first-person shooter, where you always have to be on the move in this game. If you stop for just a few seconds, you're gonna die. And the enemies in this game are very aggressive. The demons are super aggressive. They jump all over the place. They're constantly shooting you. Some of them like to get up close to you. The combat in this game is really intense. It's fierce. It's fast. And it's fun, and the selection of weapons is phenomenal. A lot of Doom favorites are in here. They give you a shotgun right away that's really satisfying, but you get a better shotgun later that's like one of my favorite weapons. I pretty much loved all the weapons. All of them were unique from each other. The BFG, of course, makes an appearance, and it's super OP, and it's awesome to use, but the ammunition is pretty scarce for it. I guess there's going to be a few things I want to talk about in terms of gameplay. We'll start with the level design. The level design in this game is actually a big departure from most first-person shooters these days, where they're fairly linear. You have objective markers, but there's a lot of hidden secrets and hidden optional areas that you can find, and a lot of them are very tough to find. When I completed a lot of these levels, I noticed that I missed most of the secrets, and that was crazy to me because I felt like I really explored these environments. Now, the environment variety, there's not much of it, but it makes sense because, well, you're on Mars and you're in this facility. I mean, obviously you do go to hell, like like all the other Doom games, but Hell looks amazing. Like, I love the environments in Hell, but yeah, you're going around this facility, a bunch of different rooms, elevators, and things like that, and there's a few enemies when you're trying to get from point A to point B, but most of the fights in this game take place in arenas, where you'll go through these levels, and you'll come to like these massive areas with a bunch of platforms, pickups, which, yeah, there's pickups in this game, armor, health, and power-ups, and they're, scattered all about these arenas. And basically, demons will spawn in, and you've got to keep killing them until they've kind of stopped spawning, and then you can kind of progress. There's also like these kind of like hell gates that you have to kind of close, and then demons will just constantly keep spawning in. And this is where most of the combat happens. And at first, I was kind of iffy on this because I thought it was a bit weird, and there was a lot of it. But the more I played this game, the more I realized it works with what this game, with like the action that this game's got, the really fast-paced action, because you need these big environments to run around in, to dodge all the enemy attacks. And there's like this satisfying gameplay where you're jumping and running and gunning all throughout these environments. When you're getting low on health, you're going in for a glory kill, which I'll talk about that, or you're going to be looking for a health pickup throughout the environment. There might be a berserk power-up, which the berserk power-up's fucking awesome, where you basically just one-shot kill everything with the melee attacks. There's quad damage, invulnerability, all those, you know, all the classic Doom pickups. There's no regenerating health in this game. You got to worry about what health you have, and yeah, it's awesome. What else is with this game? A lot of the modern touches I like with this game too. The big feature is the glory kills, where if you shoot an enemy enough, they'll glow blue, and if you get up to an enemy up close when they're glowing blue, it'll glow orange. And if you do, I forget, it's like the E key on the keyboard, and I think it was like clicking the right stick on the controller. Basically, you'll do a melee attack to them and do like a finishing move. And it's only a few seconds long, like the animations aren't too long, and this mechanic I was worried about when I first saw gameplay, but in practice it's awesome, because if you do a glory kill on an enemy, they're going to drop, sometimes they'll drop ammo, but all the time they're going to drop health. So this is the perfect thing to do when you're really low on health. When you're about to die, then it really incentivizes you to get in there and just kill enemies quick and like really to kill them really quickly, so you can do that glory kill. And chaining together glory kills when you're low on health is so satisfying. You also get a chainsaw in this game that takes fuel, and fuel is very rare. But if you chainsaw an enemy and it kills most enemies in one hit, you get basically a shit ton of ammo for your weapons. So if you're low on ammo, a good strategy is to, you know, use your chainsaw. So there's all these systems that kind of just really, like, they really work together. They work well together, I should say. And yeah, that mechanic, the glory kill mechanic, I think is this great addition to the action that this game's got. There's also some weapon upgrade systems and armor upgrade system that I really liked as well. You know, finding collectibles throughout the environments will get you like these chips, and you can kind of upgrade your weapons with different mods, and you can kind of select which mods you want on your weapons. So you can get your, you know, you can have your favorite weapons, and you can kind of pick and choose what your favorite mods are, and you can upgrade the different functions of your guns. And to correct the progression, the character progression in this game, I thought was really satisfying, and it really rewarded exploration, which exploration was always fun for me. You can also upgrade your suit. You can upgrade like your environmental resistance, so like explosive barrels won't damage you as much. Your equipment, which you can have frag grenades and other different equipment that kind of recharge, and the frag grenades are actually really useful, and a lot of times I forgot I had them, which kind of sucks because they're actually good in this game. So yeah, there's a bunch of equipment you can use. You can power up your armor, but generally it's, you know, it's a run and gun fast-paced shooter. There's actually some platforming too in these levels, which I thought was actually well done. You always know where to go with I think these green signposts, which is good, because I think if without that the platforming might be kind of annoying. But I actually liked it. I thought it was a nice. It was nice with like the game's pacing. If you did like a bunch of shooting demons, eventually the game would kind of slow down, and you'd maybe have like this small platform section, which I thought was kind of nice. This game's also got key cards and color-coded doors. Yeah, you find like blue key cards and open blue doors, just like the original Doom. It's awesome. I love it. Later in the game, there's lava and acid on the floor, on the floors, like in the original Doom. Like maybe some people might be like, oh well, it's too similar to the old Doom, but honestly, we haven't got a shooter like that in so long, and I like that it stays faithful to the original Doom. It's not like it doesn't just like butcher the namesake, basically. But yeah, the gunplay in this game just feels really good. The guns are all fantastic. I will say, I think some people might not be able to handle this game. It's a very difficult game. It's very demanding on your reflexes, and like I said before, you always have to be on the move in this game. And it's weird. You almost have to like unlearn everything you've learned from recent first-person shooters. and you have to it's like learning to ride a bike again or something, because it's been so long since I played this type of game. I loved this type of game. You know, I grew up with Doom. I love that game, and it's just awesome that we've gotten a game like this again, and they decided to kind of have that kind of experience, but with a new coat of paint, basically. But yeah, super positive on this game. I think the gameplay is great. The length, it's actually pretty long too, at least for a shooter. It took me around 13 hours, which usually these types of games are around like 8 hours, sometimes even like 6. So I was surprised by that too. And it's also a game that gets better the more you play it. I liked it at first, like the first few hours I liked it, but I liked it more as I got more guns and they introduced new demons. By the time I got to like the 4-hour mark, I was just like, wow, this is like one of the best first-person shooters I've played. It's fantastic from start to finish. I gotta say, this game really surprised me. Visuals, it looks fantastic as well. It's using one of id's newest engine, I think. It runs really well too. I don't think you actually need a super powerful PC to run this well either. Like, it's well optimized. It runs at 60 frames per second. It was always smooth for me. It always felt great. The art direction is maybe a little bland in the beginning when you're at in the Mars facility, but I love the art direction in the Hell levels. I think those look fantastic. The character models are like really detailed. The demons look fantastic. They've brought back a lot of the demons that were in like Doom 1, but you get to see them 3D and with this like really good engine. So that was really exciting to see. I loved seeing all that stuff. Audio. Actually, the sound design isn't amazing. I thought the guns would sound like beefier. They actually sound a little weak, so that was a little bit disappointing. The soundtrack is kind of like industrial metal. It's not like the pure heavy metal soundtrack that the original Doom was, but I like the soundtrack. At first, I wasn't too hot on it, but it kind of grew on me. And some of the songs that they play later in the game, I actually think are better than the early ones. So yeah, a decent soundtrack as well. Other than the single-player campaign, though, there's actually a multiplayer and snap map in this game, too. It's not just a single-player campaign. Multiplayer, I played a few matches. It wasn't my thing. I've never been into multiplayer, and in multiplayer you have, like, loadouts, like 2-weapon loadouts, and it's slower than the campaign, and it's just, I don't know, the map designs I wasn't too fond of. I gotta say, the multiplayer, like, it wasn't terrible from what I experienced, but I don't think it's the type of multiplayer you'll play for hours on end. So yeah, I've noticed with like a lot of reviews and scores, I guess a lot of people are talking about this now, with single player and multiplayer. A lot of people are questioning, like, does a bad multiplayer kind of drive down the score of a game even though the single player is so good? And it's an interesting question. I mean, to me, this game is worth like the money, at least the $45 or whatever on PC. For the single player alone. Like, I think that's well worth it, but at full price, maybe it's asking a lot, especially in Canada, where this game is $80. And for like an amazing single player campaign, and then like a terrible multiplayer, and then the snap map, which I'll talk about, maybe that's not quite worth it. Maybe it's worth waiting for a price drop at that point. And this game will drop a price, pretty guaranteed on that towards the end of the year. But Snap Map is actually a feature I didn't know about going in, and it's actually really cool, where it reminds me of like Time Splitters 2, the map maker in that, where you make your own maps. You can do like horde mode, you can make multiplayer maps, single player maps, co-op maps, up to 4 players, and it's called Snap Map because you basically kind of snap map tiles together to create your levels, and you use like logic chains, and you can kind of put AI in your levels. It's fairly complex. I put a few hours into it, and it seems fully featured and easy to use. I didn't have that much fun making levels, though. I've never been into making like first-person shooter levels. I'm much more into content creation when it's like in a platformer, like Mario Maker, for instance. But for the people that do get into this, it's actually really cool. I think it's a kind of like an underrated feature of the game that even though I don't use it, it's going to be cool to see what people make with it. People might make whole new campaigns with this Snap Map. In fact, I think someone already has made Episode 1, Mission 2 from Doom, the original Doom, which is awesome. So yeah, Snap Map is a nice addition to like the overall package. But the single player is where it's at. The single player in this game is just phenomenal. I can't recommend this game enough. If you've been missing this type of shooter, this fast-paced run-and-gun shooter, I think you'll absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite games of the year. It's actually probably going to make my top 10. Crazy. I know Uncharted 4 is the big game for May, but honestly, this Doom is where it's at. But yeah, that's it, guys. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.